I saw this today, and it really, it's pretty awesome when you think about it. But Sweden produces so much wind electricity that it exports power to 5 countries simultaneously. So a nation of 10 million people became Northern Europe's clean energy engine. Now, let me tell y'all something. We could be enjoying this. You want lower, fuel prices in terms of your electricity? Wind and solar are absolutely something that can make that happen. But the problem is we've got antiquated capabilities like coal that are going to continue pushing against solar and wind when it could do so much for the people. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're still wanting to make sure that coal operators, coal barons, are still able to just continue raking money in hand over fist. If you think about West Virginia and you talk about the tops of these mountains, and you got to understand that mountaintop removal went through West Virginia and chopped 300 feet off of the tops of all kinds of mountains. And if you fly over the state of West Virginia, you're going to see these all over the place. And once again, it just looks like a green area. And the reason why it's light green, because it's not even real grass. It's like scrub grass. It's garbage grass. These companies they do mountaintop removal. They take the top 300 feet off the mountains. And instead of reclaiming the mountains and putting trees and stuff back, they basically plant scrub grass and call it a day. And nothing grows there. It's not good for the animals to eat. It looks like a really nice green space on the top of the mountain, but there's nothing there. So, if they took the tops of those mountains and placed windmills on the tops of those mountains, the electricity bills for people in West Virginia would shrink significantly. But that's not going to happen because, once again, places like West Virginia refuse to accept wind and solar. They do everything in their power to fight wind and solar just because coal miners want to have their jobs, and coal operators want to continue raking in the money hand over fist. And they want to continue doing mountaintop removal because, once again, it's just raking in money hand over fist. But once again, the people of West Virginia are still going to continue having electric bills that are extremely high. When I was in West Virginia back in 2018, single wide trailers were experiencing $600 electric bills in a single wide trailer. And everybody knew that that was wrong. But once again, nobody did what they should do to try to help these people. Appalachian Power is absolute corrupt. They do not care about your electric bills. The only thing they care about is their profits. And once again, the person over top of Appalachian Power, their annual salary is about $37 million. Think about that. Think about having a salary that will pay you literally $3 million a month. A month. And what are you doing? Are you providing people with quality education, not education, quality electricity and things like that? And the truth is their electric bills are through the roof. And I'm really loving what I am seeing right now all across the country, but even in West Virginia. And that is they're standing up and pushing back against the data centers. Folks, the data centers are needed so we can continue using AI. And the truth is that we don't need AI. I don't need fake things on social media that are used to try and trick people into believing things that are wrong. It's almost as if let's look at Fox News. And Fox News absolutely, in a court of law, absolutely says we're not news. We are entertainment. But Fox News doesn't tell their followers that in a court of law, they had to tell everybody that they wasn't news and that they were entertainment. People still continue to drink from those fountains. And we really need to start pushing back. And we need to change these things because, once again, we have a lot of people out there that are potentially going to be hurt with what this current administration wants to do. The reason why they're trying to scare you about voting and scare you into believing that the SAVE Act is something that needs to pass is because they know that they're losing power. They know that their administration and the things that they're pushing is not things that people want. They know that. They know that people are waking up, and they're trying to scare people like MAGA into continuing to believe that the SAVE Act must pass. And think about that. You know, do you, if you are a woman who took your husband's last name when you got married, how do you feel about them telling you that you can't vote if the SAVE Act passes because your last name isn't the name that you were born with? And once again, they're trying to do this because they know that they're going to lose. Because Donald Trump is not promoting anything. Donald Trump hasn't lowered your grocery prices. The price of gas is starting to trickle down, but we have no idea that it's going to go right back up because last I heard, they're still firing back at each other again. You know, the Strait of Hormuz is now closed again. So things are going to go back and forth. But at the end of the day, the Republican Party is not pushing legislation that benefits you. And that's the reason why they're scared. And that's the reason why they're spewing all this garbage and these lies, because they know that they're on the way out. They know that they're not popular. They know that they're not doing anything that is elevating people's lives. And people are waking up. I'm going to tell you that I really do believe in this next election that Republicans are done with MAGA. Republicans are done with the stupidity that is MAGA. MAGA falls for everything Donald Trump spews. And Republicans are getting tired of Donald Trump because they know he's not following through with any of the promises that he's made. And now it's like he doesn't even care. When Donald Trump says, I don't think about the everyday average person and their bills and things like that, what does that tell you? That's a slap in the face that tells you he does not care about you being able to put groceries on the table for your children.